this mouse and this mouse here, and our main contenders for today, we'll compare them to this R.A.T 8. I will not judge the ergonomics. I mean, the ergonomics is something very subjective. That something that works for some people may not work for the others. I'm using the very same settings for these mice. So for the R.A.T mouse, I used 100 Hz refresh rate for the poll rate, for the USB poll rate. I use exactly the same refresh rate for the G903, which is 1000 also. So regarding the latency, it's supposed to be exactly the same. Regarding the settings, I'm not using any angle snapping, nothing like that. It's not enabled. And same for the R.A.T, not using that. So angle snap is off. So the general settings are very similar, exactly the same. However, the products are different, so of course the results will differ. Only the technical characteristics perceived from my point of view, a subjective review, but still kind of an opinion that may be useful to some people. So let's discuss G502, the Logitech. I expected this mouse to be my favorite. Like when I actually was looking at the sheets, I was looking at the performance reviews of people. I expected this mouse to be my choice. But the thing is, I didn't like this one. I didn't like this one for a couple of reasons. The wheel is actually very good. I must admit, it feels nice, though it is very slippery. I don't like the slippery feel. I would actually prefer it to be more rubbery, more textured, but it feels nice. It has side clicks. So the wheel, quite good. It does have this infinity button. You click the button, the wheel goes down. It's not very useful. I mean, it's weird to use this. It feels nice when you do it, but it doesn't feel good when you're actually using this on web browsing. And the main reason is the web page, usually, not only the web page, the Word document, anything you may want to scroll, actually has these sections built in. So when something clicks here, it feels and behaves exactly the same on screen. So it feels strange. And actually, when you move the mouse around, it may affect the wheel, and it does affect it very, very often. So that is not good, you know, like when you want just to move somewhere, it scrolls for no reason. And the reason is that just the inertia goes, and you see, moves. Yeah, not good. It has lots of buttons. Has one button here, has one button here, has two buttons here. I mean, it's like 4 buttons. It has this precision aim button here, which lowers your DPI. And I'd say the buttons are good. They are clicky. They feel nice, buttons are good, and these two especially, like I really like those buttons. So I'm not talking about the ergonomics, but I will talk about the weight. And this mouse has some decent good weight, and there is a system of weights. You can disassemble the mouse to remove the weight, make it easier to use or harder to use. The thing is, it's not heavy enough for me. I prefer something to be more heavy. I prefer stability, because when the mouse is heavy, you put it on a table and it stays there. Your cursor doesn't move a single pixel. I really enjoy that. And frankly, the weight, and because of the plastic surface of the bottom, it may move, you see? It moves just a little bit just because of the cord. So I prefer something to have either a better stability because of the surface or something more weighty. But it may work out for some CSGO players which prefer very light mice due to the ability to move them very constantly around. I'm really used to the PixArt 3366 sensor, or 3360, which is basically the same, but this one uses the Hero sensor, which is the proprietary sensor of Logitech, which they claim to be as good or even better than the PixArt sensor, but I hope I will get used to it. But I mean, it's almost 2 weeks already, but I cannot get used to this sensor. For me, it's obviously worse than the PixArt 3366 or 3360. The reason is, this one is not pixel perfect. The sharpness, it's not as sharp. And I've checked the drivers. There is no smoothing in drivers. There is no corner cancelling technology enabled, nothing like that. Unfortunately, I will not be able to use this mouse. 2 main reasons. It's not as sharp. I actually think it's because of the Hero sensor. And not as stable. Because of the base is plastic, a little bit slippery. The weight, maybe because of the weight distribution, it feels, you see, even because of the cord, even it behaves differently, and it's corded. And for some reason, I feel some latency. I don't know, this is a corded mouse, but I do feel latency. Maybe that's because they wanted to unify it across all the mice, with a cord or without a cord. Very, very, very subtle feeling, but I do feel some subtle latency. I do actually get some hand fatigue because of this, you know, when it's not sharp enough, when you have to work in Photoshop, you have to select separate pixels even, and on a 4K monitor, you do want to feel that sharpness. So Logitech G502, though previously used the PixArt sensor, but now it does not. Now it uses the Hero sensor, and basically all the other mice by Logitech now start using the Hero sensor, which looks like I'm not a fan of. Maybe that is something subjective, but for some reason, you know, it doesn't feel right, it doesn't feel sharp enough. The last thing to talk about would be the price. And this is a very interesting thing, because I bought this one for $32. It was a Black Friday deal, but still, it is possible to find something on Amazon for $30 to $40. So actually, when talking about the price, I think this would be an amazing idea for people for whom the price is a decisive factor. Actually, yes, this Hero sensor is not the best idea for me, but I must admit that it's quite good for the price. I mean, for this price, maybe if you find the PixArt 3366, maybe some Zoe mice, which have very simple construction, but they'll use some better sensor. And even though I have some doubts whether we can find something with that sensor for this price, for $30 to $40, I would actually buy this. That would probably be my choice, potentially, yes. So, general conclusion, good price-performance ratio. Up next is my beloved R.A.T mouse. Unfortunately, it broke, so this button as always. The wheel is amazing. It feels nice, contact is amazing, the texture is good, it's rubberized. However, it has no side clicks. So yep, Logitech mice, those have side clicks. You can click it sideways and that is usable, not available here. So I really wish they had it. But of course you get a separate side scroll wheel, which basically performs the same function as this thing performs here. So this is an advantage. It's just basically the same thing, but it's implemented in a different way. A wheel itself, very smooth. You can feel there is no sound, very smooth, but still it feels nice, and you can feel every click. So it's very tactile, but very silent, as opposed to Logitech, which is very loud. You have to work hard to move this wheel around. The buttons of R.A.T mouse, I would say they are not as good as Logitech mouse. They are not as tactile. I mean, they are precise. Everything works great, and it doesn't matter where you click. You may click here, you may click here or here, it does work. There is this side button here, there is this button here, the service button that changes the profiles, the DPI change button back and forth, that is useful, and two buttons here on side. Stability, this one is the clear winner among all the mice I had ever. It's very stable, and the reason for that is that the platform, the base that's used is iron. So it's iron, it's wide, and it's quite heavy. And you can adjust and add those weights to make it even more heavy. For some precision-intensive work, this is very good. Of course, I removed the weights, just not to make it that heavy that it's difficult to use. It's light enough. It's quite light enough for me. Almost as Logitech, I mean even lighter than that. So you have this versatility, and that is good. And you can actually adjust the shape of it, you can adjust the weight of it, and because of the surface, because of the iron that's being used on the bottom, it's very stable and very precise. The sensor used in this mouse is 3360 PixArt sensor, the brother of this sensor which is used in this mouse, but a little bit different because this one, they as they say, they tweaked it a little bit. This one is the clear winner for me. The problem is that the Logitech mouse I bought, the more expensive one, the G903, also uses this sensor, but I don't know what they did with it. Maybe because this mouse is actually wireless, but it feels different. It doesn't feel as good as this one. I mean, the PixArt implemented in the R.A.T mouse is visceral. It's so close to the reality. I mean, I feel this mouse as if it's my own hand. It's very responsive, very sharp. It's the sharpest one I've ever tried. You can talk about the buttons, you can talk about the wheel, but the sensor is what's the most important, and frankly, I'm not ready to give up this sensor. Yes, the mouse broke, but I'm not actually ready to give it up and to move to a different brand. I thought that was probably because I got used to this mouse, but I'm using the Logitech mouse for 2 weeks already. That time is enough to get used, and yep, it just feels different. The price of R.A.T. 8, well, it's not existent because this one is discontinued already, but the successor, the R.A.T. 8 Plus, the price is around $75. You can find it for 68 up to 80, depends where you look, but the price is, I think it's justifiable, it's good, it's decent. It's not cheap for sure, but it's not too expensive, it's not over 100. So I would actually pay this price, and I will pay this price because I will order this mouse. And it's something like the same as Logitech. I mean, this is wireless, but it goes for similar price. The official MRSP is around 150, but I found this one for 70, I think, or even less, for 64. It was Black Friday though, but even now I see the price has not changed. So around the same price range of these two, except this one, G502, is cheaper. You can find it for around $32. So this brings us to the Logitech 903. And you know what? Since it's a wireless mouse, let's make it wireless. Let's remove this USB. Let's start from the wheel. The wheel is very, very similar to the one we had on this one. It feels very similar, but this one is slippery as hell, but this one is rubberized. So rubberized, tactile, good, feels good, but hard to rotate for some reason. The R.A.T. is very easy. It feels like, you know, if you're riding a bicycle and somebody puts sticks into your wheels, and you have to apply some pressure, you know, and when you have to scroll a lot, when you use a lot of documents, this gets annoying. I don't like it. I don't like the pressure you have to apply. And this button, I already described all the downsides of this feature, so cannot say this one is useful. Basically, I use it in this mode. It's very loud, and you know, your finger gets tired, so that's the thing. You get the side clicks, of course. This is good, and you get the rubberized feel of this wheel, but apart from that, it's the same as this one. Very similar. The buttons on G903 are exceptionally good. You know, the clickiness, they click so nice. They feel great. I mean, the whole thing is very, very well built. And buttons alone, you get like 2 buttons from the right side, 2 buttons from the left side. Of course, you can block either of these two because this is an ambidextrous mouse. But I decided to keep all of them just to have more buttons on my mouse. But of course, already I have noticed that this button is very easy to press when you use it as a right hand, so probably I will have to remove this one. But it's very nice to have this option, of course. You have these 2 buttons. I use them for the DPI. They're actually meant to be used as DPI change switch. And you get this button, which is just for the wheel. I'm not using that one. So not really many buttons, but those that are here are well built and click well. You see these sharp corners here. And the thing is, now they are not as sharp as they used to be because I used a file to polish them. Because when I've been using this mouse on my mat, it actually scratched it. I had to basically more physically modify the mouse to be able to use it on a soft mat. So yeah, one thing to consider. But anyway, you can get away with that pretty easily, as you can use any type of abrasive on it as it's plastic. Stability for the G903 is good enough. The reason I say good enough is that, well, it has very, very little customization. Like, for example, if we take R.A.T, even without the customization, it uses the iron surface, which is heavy by itself. The center of weight is low, and it's wide. So this iron surface makes it very, very stable and easy to use for precision intensive work. This is the only customization you have here. 10 gram, that's everything you get. It's magnetic, you put it back, good, but I wish there was a little bit more customization with the weight. And also the platform, it's narrow and plastic, so yeah, it loses to the R.A.T, which is white and iron. But the stability is good, and I don't really see any cursor changes when my hands are trembling or something like that, so it's stable enough, can be used for precision intensive work. And the most important thing, of course, the sensor, PixArt sensor 3366, which is basically the same as this one, which is 3360. However, it feels different, guys. I mean, the precision feels very similar. I can say that this is pixel perfect, yes, but there is some weird lag going on. Maybe not a lag, but I feel like it drags. Of course, you cannot see it on the camera, but there is this feeling that it drags behind. I mean, it's good, it's precise, but it definitely drags behind. And I've been thinking about for a very long time what this could be. I think this is due to the latency of the signal. I mean, this mouse is wireless, right? It is wireless. Even if I connect the wire, if I use it in wired mode, it feels exactly the same. It does not give me this visceral feel. I thought like maybe if you connect the cord it should be the same, but no, of course not. They made it to be exactly the same. If you use it cordless, if you use it corded, that's unfortunate. I will occasionally use it when I need a wireless mouse, but it's actually set here, you see? The USB report rate. The USB report rate is 1000, it's good. But there is also a wireless report rate, so there is double latency from the USB and from the wireless. So it's definitely there and I can feel it. And especially when you do something very quickly, you know that you want to enlarge a window, stuff like this requires extreme precision, and yeah, of course you can miss it because it drags behind. So yeah, unfortunately. And the reason, guys, I think why they made it exactly the same in cordless and corded mode, why it feels the same, well, they wanted consistency, of course. It looks like I mean Logitech, downgraded the corded mode, so it feels exactly the same as cordless. So when people use it, they have nothing to compare, you know? Like they use it, it feels the same, it feels consistent, and it gives this impression that this cordless mode is zero latency, like same as corded. I even saw some tests online, you know, corded or cordless, does it feel the same? Feels the same? Yes, of course it does, because they downgraded the cable. So probably works like that. But anyway, apart from that, if I wasn't that extremely picky, this is an amazing mouse. Extremely precise sensor, very nicely balanced, good weight, ambidextrous, works for me. Everything's good except the wheel. I don't like the wheel, well, not my thing. But apart from that, everything is good. Sensor is good. This drag, this small latency, I don't like it, but that's the price of cordless. Yeah, you have to pay this price. And from what I know, the cordless technology that Logitech uses is one of the best you can buy. It's been a couple months I've been using this mouse. Just a couple of things I wanted to tell you. Now that I know that for sure, this button is unreliable. Don't know if that's my defective model, but I mean, it's already broken. It has been like this since the beginning, but not that obvious now. It has double clicks more often than I would like to. Sometimes I would just want to click and it double clicks, and in some situations that's just not acceptable. And such thing as hover, when you take something up, you pick it up, and you want to hover, I mean you click and you hold, and then it releases. It just releases by itself. That's it. It's unusable now. I do really like the infinite scroll. The regular one sucks. I mean, the regular one is very stubborn. It's very hard to use. It's hard on your finger. If you use it a lot, if you use it all day, then you wear your finger that much that you can actually feel pain. It's very unpleasant. So I found I have actually to use the infinite one more than I would like to. I mean, it's very good for some applications, like when you have something very long, like this long text memo I have, like for example, maybe if you use the text document, my documents are huge, so for those huge documents like 500 pages, the infinite scroll is amazing. I mean, you can do some interesting things with this. Well, I have a really huge wish list on Newegg, and you know, this infinite scroll works amazing in such applications. You can definitely live without this infinite scroll. Is it nice? Yes, it's definitely nice to have, but not crucial. Because it has this inertia, and it means that it's not very precise. So you want precision in most of the cases, and it doesn't work for the precision because it's too hard. Too hard to move around, which I'm not a fan of. However, there is the side click I discussed before, and now I can see that it's very useful, probably one of the best features. The side click is very useful. For example, you can copy and paste. You can copy and paste, copy, paste, copy, paste. It's so easy. I mean, for people who use copy, paste or something that need access to these buttons, very good. It's even better than side buttons, much better. Very, very quick and easy. It can be programmed to anything different. Another thing, this is wireless mouse, and it's not. I mean, it can stay wireless for 1 day and a half. How much is that? 1 day and a half. You have to recharge it like a phone. You can get this pad, of course, but it's not usable as wireless. It's not wireless because I have to use it wired all the time because of this. I mean, at least a week. No, it's like 1 day and a half, maybe 2 days, the way I use it. And you know, actually it uses some coils inside to charge your mouse. I mean, why would you want to use something electrical under your hand to be constantly emitting magnetic waves. Is it even safe? I guess not, but I guess there is no evidence to it, right? And another thing, the Logitech G Hub, and it fails. It failed like maybe 5 times already, or 6 times. I got so tired to reinstall it that I just quit doing that. I loaded my profile onto the mouse itself. Luckily, it has memory. I loaded my profile and I don't ever want to touch the software again.
A few hours later.
Guess what? It's been like 2 hours and it's still installing updates, so failed again. So let's move to the Logitech website just in case we have missed something. So competition optical sensor. That is true. The sensor that's used in this mouse is good. It is competition optical sensor. I also know that they do replace this sensor in each and every other mouse. They replace it with the Hero sensor now. So Hero is everywhere, and especially for the market availability, Hero is more available now. I prefer this one. Hero is good as well for the price because it's cheaper. That is true. It is cheaper, but not as high performance sensor. Power efficient technology. Well, something is not efficient here. Either a technology or a battery. But they even say 32 hours, right? What is it? It's like nothing. You have to charge your mouse like your cell phone. No bueno, guys. No, not good. Ultimate customization. What exactly is so ultimate? Come on. Okay, so yeah, you can customize the buttons, meaning you can remove them, or you can put them back. That's about it. And then you have this weight here, which is 10 grams. That's all the customization. It is some kind of a customization to some extent, but definitely not ultimate. Onboard memory does have memory as any other halfway decent mouse. Okay, not much else. Generally speaking, I do enjoy the mouse, but I will be buying the R.A.T 8 Plus, and I will be probably enjoying that one a little bit more. And here it is, actually. I have bought it. It's been a couple months I've shot that video, and now I bought this mouse and I will use it. I will compare it to the regular R.A.T 8. This is R.A.T 8 Plus. Yeah, so it's supposed to be good. You may see the comparison video on this channel